Hi everyone and welcome back as we continue the journey, the great botanical journey or adventure behind the scenes to see where our flowers come from. The next in the series is this beautiful, gorgeous cymbidium here, and it's called Rijsenhout. I think I said that right, I'm not sure. But when I looked at that, I just immediately thought, oh, tropical. And I also want to share how to do a design that's a little bit tropical. 2 stems or spikes of the orchids and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. First to bring into the front of our designers' minds is what kind of a container. Now, I did this ages and ages ago. It's just decoupage. It was a horrible white container that really was doing nothing. It was a nice shape, but I thought, what can I do to give this another life? So all I've done is decoupaged it, and I just really love these parrots on the outside here, or cockatoos, I think they call them in Australia. And I love all of those colours. So what I did was I saw the container, I saw the orchids, I then found the container, looked at for the signposts, because the signposts as a designer are everywhere. You just have to, oh, look and seek and you shall find. So I love this colour, the base colour here, I'm going to use a Tillandsia because I really, really like how that colour comes through. And I've got the parrots here, so I'm going to use these things here. I don't know what these are called, but I saw them at the flower market when I was there, and I thought, what is that? It's a something that's been dried off or preserved, and it's just like, oh, perfect. And when I was thinking of the parrots, I was thinking of feathers, so I thought, oh, cool, that's great, I love it. And then I've got all this foliage on the outside, and I thought, oh, I know, we'll just have, because I want it tropical, let's just shove that into there. We'll put that into there just like that. And then I thought, you know what, it needs a little bit of something else. Now, this is artificial because I just need you to know it is the middle of the winter here in New Zealand and there's not much growing. So I've got this now to get that to stay into there, because I know it's going to fall out. Just if you've got something that's got a little bit of a short stem, just poke something a little bit bigger through it so that you've got this bit of movement. Now, I've got a couple of arelia leaves. I'm just going to shove that into there, just loose and informally, because you know, when you see things growing in the tropics, like, there's no rhyme nor order. You know, everything just goes everywhere. I've got 3 of those, so I just put those around there like a collar. And I've also got 2 of these lovely fatsia leaves. So if they are going, hopefully they will sit into there, and if they don't, I'll just use a little bit of this foliage and I'll just move that foliage so that I now can have that leaf that I want to stay in place, staying in place, because I want it to be like a little ledge. Now this one here, hopefully, see, the best thing to do when you've got leaves like this is pick them 2 or 3 days before you need them, and don't put them into water. And then what you'll find is you can move them in the way that you want to. But I picked these in the dark last night, so you know, it's still quite stiff. Now, stop it. Let's just do flowers. Okay, so I'm going to bring that one up and into there. So it doesn't need to be flat like this one. It can do whatever it wants to, because after all, it is a tropical arrangement. Right, the next to go in are going to be these sticky things, and I'm just hoping that these will go into here because there's quite a bit in here. But if we are very patient, and I'm being very patient, getting our hands into it, got it stuck in there. And I just want these to sort of like just stick up a bit. And if they don't all go in, oh yes, they are a bit tall there. It was too high for the not studio, because guess what, we're still not in the studio. It's nearly 10 months. Anyway, I just want those into there so that they can just stick up there, and that's just bringing through the birds and bringing that colour up. And they could be feathers. If I had feathers, I'd use feathers. Right, the next to go in are the beautiful orchids. So I'm just going to have one there. Now, the reason I put those sticks and those little bits there in first was because I wasn't sure whether this was the orchids were going to play ball, and they didn't. They wanted to go poof, because that's what they do when they're naturally occurring. So just by bringing in those little sticky bits, I've been able to just capture the movement down and hold and fix in place. Now with the next one, we'll go in here, just bring, very careful when you're doing this, and put your hand in there so that you can guide it down gently, because even though these are very sturdy flowers, we don't want to be causing them to be damaged because we're a bit rough. So that there can just become the little wee support for that. Oh, very, very nice. I'm loving it. That's a good idea, Astar, you know, last minute thinking. Now, the next to go in is a little bit of this here. That came from my pond, and I really love this, how that's all sort of like lovely and fluffy. So I'm just going to bring those down and into the design just to give it a little bit of movement and to soften some of our lines. So how is that for a very quick and easy design? Now, if you didn't have any of the little sticky bit, those little white bits like I've got, what you could do is get in there. I want you to go into there. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. And I'll bring all of those into there because I really do love how they just give a little bit of softness. If you wanted to, you could use a little bit of the willow, which I'm going to do now, just to show you what happens with even more movement with that up through the top. And then with the tillandsia, because I love the tillandsia, I'm just going to bring little bits of that up and into there because it is an air plant, and don't forget that it does not need any water, and it will just, if you just spray mist that, it will just continue to grow. But how's that? Beautiful design, just 2 Cymbidium orchids, and look at that. That is magnificent. I love it. Of all of my designs so far, hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed sharing it with you, and I look forward to seeing you all again another day.